in that third round, and Crawford, it did catch the eye a little bit more, so Burns.
That's all I'm happy for. I want money tonight.
Shakur, tell us something, bro. Like, what did you think about the decision?
I ain't gonna shit on him.
Okay.
We still gotta see each other. He say he wanna fight me, so we gonna fight.
But what do you think about the decision?
I told him I won.
You told him I won. Got you. I'll talk to you later. You thought it was a fair decision?
Yeah, definitely, man. I thought they both put it out there. Roach definitely showed up and did his thing. But Gervonta Davis is the champ, and it takes a lot to be able to beat the champ. But Roach definitely had something that we all.
Please come up this way. Going up right here.
Saw that maybe the opponent, Lamont Roach, actually got stronger moving up 5 pounds to 135 pounds. He was able to take Tank's shots without ever really being in any serious trouble.
Lamont came to fight. You can't take no credit away from him. I think Tank had a little off night a little bit. He was off a little bit tonight. But Lamont came to fight. You can't take none away from him. He earned that tonight.
If you want a rematch and you think it'll go differently? To win the fight, it was a close decision, but he did have Roach winning, and ultimately, in terms of himself, he thinks that if he were to get the rematch, he just wouldn't allow it to end in the judge's hands. Like, it wouldn't be a.
To land a left to the body there, that burn. Yeah, long.
He's a great counterpuncher, very high boxing IQ. He always says, I hit harder than people think, I hit harder than my record says. He stunned Tank several times. Tank looked like the guy with the heavier hands, but Lamont has a better chin. So it's all relative. So if Tank hits real hard, but the guy can take it, doesn't really matter.
Little big bro coming out with the upset. A lot of people are going to pick Tank going into that fight, but how do you see that playing out?
I see my brother walking out victorious. There's no doubt, not because it's my brother, but because I've seen him.
Eddie Hearn has sparked some controversy again, but this time it's not just about promoting a fight. He raised an interesting point about whether Gervonta "Tank" Davis is still as dangerous as he used to be. According to Hearn, there's a small but real chance that Lamont Roach could pull off an upset and surprise everyone. However, despite this, Hearn made it clear that the bigger challenge for Davis isn't Roach, it's Shakur Stevenson.
After our own, and that's Shakur Stevenson, and for me, Schofield, Zepeda, Tank. That's the plan for 2025, and if we were to do that, I think Shakur against Tank is one of the best fights in boxing. Two unbelievable fighters.
Can do as opposed to what he's bad.
Shakur Stevenson, coming off a strong win against Josh Padley, is making a name for himself in the lightweight division. He'll be sitting ringside when Gervonta "Tank" Davis faces Lamont Roach at the Barclays Center, keeping a close eye on the fight and waiting for his chance. Everyone knows that Stevenson has been calling for a matchup with Davis, and he's made it clear that he won't back down until it happens. However, Eddie Hearn's comments have raised some eyebrows. Hearn said that while he doesn't think Davis will lose, there's a chance he might. The reason? Hearn suggested that Tank may have gotten a bit bored with the sport. That's a surprising statement to make about a fighter who's supposed to be at the top of his game.
He's had a lot of criticism, but it's not a bad fight. Lamont Roach is a world champion. He's smaller than Gervonta Davis. The problem is not many people are aware of who he is or his ability, but he can fight. I don't think it's a huge fight, but
They were fast and going to be faster than Burns. Nice shot again from Burns, a right hand from Burns.
The debate about whether Gervonta "Tank" Davis is losing focus continues to grow. Or is this just another move to stir up controversy before an expected knockout victory? Eddie Hearn pointed out the obvious. No one is really excited about a fight between Davis and Lamont Roach. And when you look at potential matchups for Tank, aside from Shakur Stevenson, there aren't many options that stand out. This brings up an uncomfortable truth that Davis's critics have been saying for years. While his career record is impressive, it's missing some key fights against top-tier competition in their prime. Sure, Tank has knocked out many big names, but when you start talking about elite fighters in the 135-pound weight class, the conversation quickly changes.
Like, Tank has been receiving unfair criticism because of Lamont not being as known of a fighter as his past opponent.
Yeah, but it's not Tank's fault. You know, the guys with the so-called names, they turn Tank down, they price themselves out. And because people don't know Lamont.
The names that often come up in discussions about top competition for Gervonta "Tank" Davis are Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, and Vasyl Lomachenko. However, Davis hasn't fought any of them yet. Meanwhile, Stevenson is facing his own challenges. His hands, already fragile, took a beating in his recent fight against Josh Padley. According to Eddie Hearn, there's no structural damage or fractures, but there is still concern. Ideally, Stevenson would have just finished a straightforward fight and be ready to compete in May. Hearn mentioned that Stevenson will need a month or two to let his hands heal properly. The reality is that Stevenson's delicate hands could be the only thing standing in the way of a fight with Davis. This matchup needs to happen soon, before Stevenson's body starts breaking down from the wear and tear.
Take on the fight. Everything is true about this situation. One, Gervonta "Tank" Davis was being ducked.
You know, I don't see this southpaw stance as an advantage. He looks all that comfortable with it. Hasn't done anything.
While all of this is happening, Oscar De La Hoya has added his own thoughts to the conversation. He gave Lamont Roach more credit than most, calling him a terrific fighter. However, he also made it clear that Roach is facing a monster in Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Davis is, to say the least, a beast, De La Hoya said. While acknowledging Roach's ability to throw unpredictable combinations, De La Hoya's main point was clear. Davis's power is something Roach has never faced before.
Roach is a terrific fighter. He might be a little over his head with Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is, I mean, to say the least, he's a beast. He really is. He's a tremendous fighter. We've seen
the switch hit.
Lamont Roach isn't showing any signs of fear. He's confident that this could be the fight of the year and speaks like a man ready to make a big impact. It's all about confidence, Roach said. It's about what you set out to do and how hard you work. That's great, but confidence only takes you so far when you're facing one of the hardest punchers in boxing. Everyone remembers what happened to Ryan Garcia. He came out strong, landed a few shots, but the first time Davis caught him clean, he folded. Roach insists he's different. He says he won't break, either mentally or physically. But we've heard that claim before.
He actually took this fight for the naysayers and all this and all the people talking shit about the fight. I think he actually took the fight because he know that I'm a dog, and he want to prove his skills against a dog. So I'm gonna show y'all what happens when.
Burns looking to throw it. Crawford saw him coming.
What makes Lamont Roach stand out is that he's acknowledging something many fighters don't. Most of Gervonta "Tank" Davis's opponents go into survival mode as soon as they feel his power. Roach pointed out that the only one who didn't was probably Isaac "Pitbull" Cruz, but Cruz was limited in terms of skill. Roach is right. Cruz made the fight messy, and although he lost, he gave Davis problems in a way no one else has. That's what Roach is counting on. He believes he has the mentality and skills to do more than just survive against Davis.
I say 9th round. What? I say 9th round.
You said 9?
Yeah.
What's your response to that, Lamont?
Look, he got scared. Look, he looked at night.
I'm telling him, you saying you going?
It is tough to tag cleanly, Crawford, being very circumspect.
There's a reason many people doubt Lamont Roach's chances. Roach is moving up from 130 pounds, while Gervonta "Tank" Davis is a dangerous force at 135 pounds. The truth is, Roach might be stepping into a fight where he has little to no chance of winning. If he becomes just another name on Davis's highlight reel, then what's next? That's the point Eddie Hearn is making. I don't know of another fight for Tank outside of Shakur, Hearn said. That's why Stevenson will be ringside. He's watching, waiting, and letting everyone know that there's really only one fight that matters.
He It is tough to tag cleanly.
Shakur Stevenson isn't completely counting Lamont Roach out. In fact, he believes Roach will give Gervonta "Tank" Davis more trouble than many people expect. "I don't think it's going to be an easy night for Tank," Stevenson said. He's known Roach for a long time and has sparred with him before, so he feels Roach has more to offer than people realize. "He's a good fighter," Stevenson added, "but let's be honest. If Roach were truly that much of a threat, Stevenson wouldn't already be looking ahead to his own fight with Davis."
I'm not looking at Lamont the way that everybody else look at Lamont. Like I know Lamont is a really good fighter. I'm not. This ain't no Frank Martin. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. It's a real good fight.
No one's been able to solve Tank Davis. What do you need to do together with you and your team and obviously your son to score that victory?
We got a game plan. We're going to execute it. We're going to get the
Move that head, bob and weave.
Then there's Terence Crawford. When it comes to real threats for Gervonta "Tank" Davis, Crawford isn't even considering Lamont Roach. In his opinion, there are only two fighters who can really challenge Tank, and Roach isn't one of them. Crawford is clear about what Davis faces when he fights Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney. "Tank knows what's up," Crawford said. He understands the challenges that come with facing those two. Crawford sees things for what they are. Tank keeps fighting opponents who either lack the skills or the mental toughness to hang with him. They might have some skills here and there, but mentally, they just can't keep up through the whole fight, Crawford added.
Everyone thinks Tank Davis is walking through Lamont Roach this weekend, but what if I told you Roach has already given him problems? Twice. They fought twice as amateurs, and both fights were raced.
Hasn't done anything.
The key here isn't just about having the skills. It's about having the right mindset to go 12 rounds with Gervonta "Tank" Davis. It's about staying calm when his power shots land and keeping your focus under pressure. Terence Crawford believes only two fighters have that: Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. When the time comes, he's confident that one of them will give Tank his first loss. So what's really going to happen on fight night? Lamont Roach believes he has what it takes to win, while Stevenson thinks it'll be a tough battle but is already thinking ahead. Eddie Hearn is questioning Tank's motivation, and Crawford is keeping it simple. Roach isn't the real threat. The real fight everyone wants to see is Tank versus Shakur. If Davis does what most expect and takes Roach out in brutal fashion, there won't be any excuses left. What do you think? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more updates.